if a company tells an investor one thing in 2021 around the company valuations, total token sale, fully diluted market cap, discount to public, etc., the hard cap, which should be a hard cap for a reason, and then they change the hard cap, in my mind, that's a breach of contractual obligations. And that demonstrates to me that this founder or these founders are willing to breach contractual obligations once. What's to stop them from doing it again?
Hello, everybody. This is your good friend Mello and my other good friend Sasha, the co-founders of Arcanum Ventures. Maybe you've heard of us, maybe you haven't. We're back for another 10-minute Wednesday eye test where we look at newly launched projects or upcoming launches to try and determine if they are viable investments. How's it going, Sasha?
Doing well. It's been a busy week, and today I think it's another busy one. But today we're looking at a project up here on CryptoRank. It's right at the top, the very top. This caught our eye because it looks like they've got like close to a $10 million raise, it says. And it's called De.Fi or D.Fi. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but simple enough.
It's very bold to name themselves that. Like, it's like if you're launching a Web3 game and you're like, this is Web3 game. Do you want to invest in
it's like launching a token and
like
calling it crypto, honestly.
Or an NFT project.
Yeah,
NFT.
100%. So I don't know anything about this. We can start the clock and dive in if you're ready. All right, 10-minute eye test starts now. Okay, here we go. DeFi gives access to multiple protocols and chains in one unified point of access using a secure user interface. What does that mean to you?
I don't know, but I can't help but see like everybody overuses the word protocol. I do it myself too, so I can't say anything, but it seems a little bit buzzwordy to me. And the thing that sticks out the most to me is secure, like impossible to verify how secure something is. So anything cross chains unified, my first question is always, how secure is this? And how can you give me reassurances as either a user or an investor that this is safe to use and I'm not going to lose it?
That is a very bold claim indeed. And what this kind of sounds like to me is that like it's some sort of DeFi protocol or network aggregator. Like you have access to operate or transact on a number of different protocols and it's cross-chain. Maybe that's like centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, etc. But this number is kind of striking. Funds and backers. So, Swissborg, Shima, OKX, HTX, BFF, Cryptomaria. These are some big names, man.
Just a side tangent rant real quick. I hate the talk of tiers in crypto. Like, who's giving out tier 2 and tier 3 distinctions between all these VCs? Like, who's not to say that, Blockchain Founders Fund or Cryptomaria is not tier 3 or tier 2? It's ridiculous, but nonetheless, it's a good backing. Like, I know most people look at the cap table, so reassuring to see some big names on there.
Some really big names. They got a lot of backing. Hey, just a shout out Arcanum Ventures Tier 1 VC. So we've got an IDO. I think an IDO might be happening right now, October 10th through the 1st of December, at a token price of 30 cents per token. This one's different, 33 cents per token. I wonder what's going on here. But
yeah, I think we can get into it a little bit later, but I have heard some whispers of shenanigans or whatever you want to call it, but they have a very unique IDO structure, so we could take a look at that later. But I think that's part of why they're raising 10 million, and there should almost be a question mark after that 9.4 million, because I don't know how much they're going to end up raising. I think they're doing kind of like an auction or some sort of weird launch like that. But it's cool to see some innovation in the launch space, so I'm not going to discount it immediately without knowing more about it.
Those backers are there for a reason. It's just this is a little bit shocking. A fully diluted market cap of the token supply at $400 million. So this is really high. And honestly, you don't see those market caps outside of like native networks or layer ones. So I'm wondering if this is some sort of like layer one that aggregates a bunch of protocols. But
Maybe they actually believe the name that this is the market cap for all of DeFi.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
But we'll go ahead and jump into the website and see what else we can learn. And we don't know a whole lot about this. So I've got the website up here. We are about to conquer Web3. DeFi 2.0 is here. Not great hero text. I still have no idea what's happening. After 4 years of relentless development, we are approaching the goal of our mission. Our objectives are ambitious, aiming beyond the ordinary. I still have no idea what's happening. But I do see vesting plans. I see that you can purchase crypto, purchase the token, I guess, with crypto or a credit card. That's interesting. They're offering the token up for sale.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, just to touch on conquering Web3, I didn't know you could conquer Web3 like it was some bit of territory, like we're crypto Genghis Khan here or something. But this is what I was touching on before. Like if you see this countdown, I think they're doing different rounds for public sale. So they have like interesting options for people that want to invest. But it's interesting to not understand or know or do anything to market with this token. What exactly are you buying here? Is it purely speculation? Because they've not convinced me. If you come from a strategic like a marketing background, you know that you want to lay the problem down or tell people what they're buying first before saying buy this with your credit card. So not a good funnel or a sales strategy technically, but I imagine a lot of the people coming here have heard of it elsewhere from influencers or some sort of video or website funneling to this.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That might be why they're getting traction. Again, like I said, we don't have no idea what's happening with this project or what they're doing at that that, let's say, the initial look on the website up at the top of the homepage. But I do see here, they've got, looks like DeFi social profile, first portfolio dashboard. I don't think they're the first to market with a portfolio dashboard. DeFi explore yields, so maybe some yield farming opportunities. DeFi first shield. When I think of shield, and then here, first Web3 antivirus, maybe there's a security protocol like a anti-scam or maybe smart contract auditor built in. And then DeFi first GPT, it looks like that was kind of maybe lazily tagged on the back end. DeFi Connect, don't know what that is. And then DeFi Layer 2.
Layer 2.
So,
wow, okay. So that's why the valuation's so high, maybe. They're going for that TVL.
I mean, TVL, right? If they have the token tied into a consensus mechanism, that makes sense, but it's still an extremely high valuation for something that doesn't plan on being a native network from the get-go.
I'm not a fan of saying we're DeFi 2.0, by the way. I think that's like a ridiculous claim. And then it's only a matter of time before someone says we're DeFi 3.0. So eat your heart out, DeFi 2.0. But I think the innovation here is like the social aspect of it, like having people message and transact and like be able to follow each other's portfolios, like kind of to flex on people on how good you are at investing or trading. So that's, I think I have heard through the grapevine that the products are actually well built, but there's a little bit of confusion on the fundraising strategy because it appears that they've built some impressive stuff already.
Interesting. Yeah. $1, Bob. $2, Bob. It's like, it reminds me of The Price is Right, where they're just like, people just can be one-upped by other contestants. But I do see like it looks like there's a good amount of name dropping here. More name dropping. So connecting with every leading exchange. So maybe they have API integrations where they can offer users to like transact with their accounts on the exchange from some aggregated database or platform. Looks like they're shouting out.
This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what does Tesla and SpaceX?
So they're basically shouting out one of their investors' portfolios. Again, name dropping. So this is kind of like very, very cheap marketing tactics endorsed by these academic institutions. I don't know what that means. We're honored to have earned the endorsement. What's the collaboration there?
I like to call this logo farming.
Yeah, seriously, logo farming is a great... Oh, here we go. Our favorites. Carl the Moon and that Martini guy. So, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. My own personal opinion. When I see influencers like this being used for shout-outs, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah. I mean, I like that they're transparent, but no, I don't like the names attached. Anyways, I think we should try to learn. I don't know how much time we have left, but we should try to learn as much about the
Yeah,
token as we can, because I still have no idea
no
what the
clue.
token does, and they have not done a good
Not
job
at all. I
explaining
think
it.
we have an idea of what the company's doing. There's credit cards, there's social media platform, everything. But I've got a link to the white paper that our producer sent me. Boom. All right, 38-page white paper. Hopefully, we could learn a little bit about the token and the investment opportunity here. Here we go. Tokenomics and governance. We'll just scroll right down to there and see what we can find.
I mean, if they're building a layer 2, they're probably going to say this is decentralized because it's DeFi 2.0. So they have a layer 2. So I could kind of venture a guess on what the token is going to be used for, but I'm still not convinced. Like, this is a perfect example of an interesting business that I would like to know more about. But yeah, we're investing in the token, or at least we're talking about the token. So it's the ERC20 token, fixed supply, designed to be multi-chain. So Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Avalanche, all EVM compatible networks. Not sure how many other chains they plan on.
This is a bit of a red flag. It looks like the primary use case is on-chain governance system. So it doesn't sound like the primary use case, at least according to this document, is a layer 2 consensus mechanism or anything. But it does sound like they're white labeling Open Zeppelin's governor contract. And they have a proposal, voting, and implementation procedure for governance. Voting rights, making proposals for independent audit reviews, reward allocation for smart contract auditors, requesting certain app features to be developed, defining and approving new dashboard integrations. Oh man, there's 10 minutes. That was quick.
That was quick.
But yeah, not a lot of strong use cases here outside of, I guess, governance. If they really plan on committing to all this stuff, that's difficult to do logistically, especially this, requesting new certain app features. But I see here, discount for app services, so they're forgoing fiat revenue. Obtaining full access to all DeFi products, so sounds like a staking mechanism which forgoes fiat revenue. Not great. But I guess we'll close it out there. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Somebody sent me a link. This looks spicy. So I guess maybe we can make an exception for the 10 minutes because sometimes, curveballs are thrown your way. So I see this here. DeFi 2.0 token sale raises red flags, warns ZachXBT. Carmelo, you mentioned you've heard something about this before, yeah?
Yeah, so I've heard that from a lot of people that they're confused because there appears to be already products that have been built that are actually helpful and useful and well received. But their strategy of delaying, a lot of the investors have been locked up for 2 years waiting for this to launch. There's been no transparency into when they're launching. And now they've come out and launched this public sale round after doing some private sale rounds on a launch pad, which, let's call it what it is. It's a public sale, just with the name private slapped on it, but it essentially means the same thing. It's a lower price than public. And now they're doing this interesting public launch, until next price. So they're going to bump up the price every few days. And I think they're just going to continue to take money until the well dries up, which is weird because, they have a fixed supply, as they said. So from a token economy standpoint, like, they haven't really thought that out on how many tokens they're going to sell eventually. And it's a little bit weird to have all these different rounds. Like, I like innovation and launching, but it's very unclear, and they're getting a lot of FUD right now. I've spoken to a lot of the individual investors that are confused right now and disappointed in the strategy and the lack of transparency, which also brings another valuable topic that we could do a whole video on. But being transparent and communicative with your investors is critical. Like, if you're a Web3 startup or any startup and you're not talking to your investors, like, get ready for disappointment. Like, they are backing you for a reason. They trust you with their money. So you got to talk to them. You can't hold their money forever. You got to show them progress, or you got to expect, legal team to get involved, people to be pissed off that you're taking their money and there's no transparency to what's being spent on when you're going to launch. So it makes sense to me why they're getting so much FUD. Doesn't mean they don't have good products or it's not a good business, but I get it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
this is a little bit concerning. I saw that comment on that ZachXBT thread that said, "Why have you raised the hard cap from 1.5 to 2.5 million?" It sounds like they don't understand the concept of a hard cap. But it sounds like they're willing to sell as many tokens as it takes to bring in as much capital as possible. And, it sounds like they're treating it kind of like, fundraising through a Series D or Series E, just tagging on these additional, these additional fundraising rounds based on demand. But at what point are they going to be realistic and inform people like this is how much cash we need to develop out these products in the MVP? And, we're not going to sell any more tokens and create a more competitive environment in the investor landscape. That's really concerning for investors in the beginning stages who were anticipating, let's say, a total token sale of 20% at a specific valuation and discount to public. And all of a sudden, there's more moving parts. There's more stakeholders. There's more things that can go wrong financially. So that is really concerning. I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our verdicts. So you want to start?
Yes, but I think you know what I'm going to say. But first, if you've been enjoying this content, like, subscribe, give us your comments. We like comments the best, actually, more than subscribe. So let us know why we're dead wrong about DeFi 2.0 and the future of DeFi. We don't know everything. As you've seen, we just dove into it for 10 minutes. So, there's a whole lot we can still learn. And we don't believe in listening to rumors or just looking at cap tables. We're serious investors with serious due diligence. So like and subscribe if you want to know some more about how we look at projects and more helpful content. And should you want me to start, or you want to?
I guess I can go ahead and start. So from a product perspective, it sounds like the scope is very big. It kind of gives me vibes of early 2021 crypto startup space, where you'd see a lot of projects launching a token and fundraising to develop like an ecosystem that consists of Web3 Facebook competitor, Web3 Netflix competitor. Like they like just dumped everything into one umbrella and said, like this is what we're going to plan on doing. And we need like $5 million for it. And I don't think, they realized how difficult it is to do only one of those things successfully. So from a product perspective, it sounds like the scope's very big. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Again, that doesn't mean that it will go wrong, but you always have to take these things into account as far as product viability. And then from an investor perspective, I guess we're talking solely about the token. I have a lot of concerns around this because, Carmelo, you and I have been burned before, and we always try and be honest with ourselves around red flags that founders may be waving in our faces. And although the crypto investment space doesn't so closely resemble traditional tech startup as much as you'd think, for example, you don't see a lot of these official fundraising processes that include safes that are accompanied by term sheets that can be considered contractual obligations. But the information that is communicated to investors when they're signing a SAFT, they're trying to understand token sale and valuations and everything. These can be considered information provided in a term sheet. And so if a company tells an investor one thing in 2021 around of company valuations, total token sale, fully diluted market cap, discount to public, etc., the hard cap, which should be a hard cap for a reason, and then they change the hard cap, in my mind, that's a breach of contractual obligations. And that demonstrates to me that this founder or these founders are willing to breach contractual obligations once. What's to stop them from doing it again? And so that's a risk I'm unwilling to take on as an investor. And so for me, it's a hard pass.
Interesting. I don't think we've had a hard pass in a while. We're usually sideways thumbs or thumbs up. But, I tend to agree. From the product's standpoint, like I shy away from super apps, like you mentioned. I would rather just see them do one thing really well and then branch out from there if they have some traction. But yeah, aiming to do all of this from the beginning, it's a little bit scary as an investor. I mean, it could be excited for some investors, but for me, it's a little bit scary. But yes, talking strictly from the token, I like the idea in theory. Like I like decentralized protocols. I like governance, but if done correctly, I don't know that this is done correctly, and it's very centralized by the look of it. I don't like the fundraising strategy. I like the innovation and thinking outside the box and not using IDO platforms, because I can give a rant about IDO platforms, but I think they're all broken right now in their current iteration. But I don't know. I wouldn't really want to invest in this token. The fact, you know what scares me away the most is buy our token with your credit card. Here's different options. Use any crypto. Well, just give us your money. Like we did a video on Ben.eth and sending all your money to a wallet, and it feels a little bit like shades of that. It's like, send us your money, any round, any price. We don't care. We'll take all your money and we'll do something with it. We promise. So I think it's a hard pass for me. No, like, just based off these changing terms, the lack of marketing acumen, like, give us your money, but we're not going to tell you. We're going to bury it deep in our white paper that most people don't read why this token is necessary. I have a hard time believing people are paying with their credit card to buy a governance token. Like, let's call it what it is. It's a fundraising speculation device. It's not a governance token. Regular people don't. If you want to govern and help with this platform, you're not buying with a credit card. You have crypto already. You're sending crypto. So what is it? What is this taking money from regular people with no crypto already? It's weird. So not to mention, I haven't seen innovation in DeFi, the DeFi space, in a long time. And DeFi, just slapping 2.0 on something is not innovation. It's just buzzwords. So I'm going to have to say no. Obviously, I'm going to cheat a little and say I want to learn more about this because I want to see what's going on. But I think I learned enough in the short time that I've looked at it to say I'm going to pass. I don't know if it will do well or not. I see a lot of FUD in its future. I see a lot of angry token holders feeling duped. So I would steer clear of this.
I think this is the first hard pass we've had in a while. So, well, best of luck.
Just surprising because they have a lot of traction. They have a big community, a lot of traction, but it just goes to show big backers doesn't mean everything.
And you know, the first big backer can sometimes snowball because a lot of VCs and investors don't perform their own due diligence very well. So they look to the big dogs to see where they're putting their money. And that's just some sort of self-perpetuating machine. Not a huge fan of that in general. But to the DeFi 2.0 team, awful name as far as SEO goes, but best of luck on your token launch. And we hope you can deliver on all these promises, and we hope you can keep your investors and backers happy. So again, Sasha and Carmelo from Arcanum Ventures, make sure you tap that like button, y'all, and send us some recommendations if you have a project you want us to look at. Again, thanks for watching. Until next time, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.